Will, riddle me this.
Okay.
I have a face without eyes, nose, or mouth, and my fingerless hands twice a day both point south.
Ah! Ah! You're a hideous, no face, no hands man. Ah!
No, Will.
Hang on, what?
I'm a clock, and clocks kind of lead to watches. What I'm getting at is we have a sponsor.
Hang on. Is this stuff that the sponsor has provided us with, this weird clock thing at the start, or did you come up with this yourself?
Well, I wanted to Google a riddle about watches.
Oh, no.
Turns out there are
Have you
none.
added your own content
I
it's
was
that
thinking,
terrible?
there's that scene in Batman.
We haven't even got to the sponsor bit and you've added that in.
This is what they want, integrated,
I
like
don't
talk
think
about
they said,
stuff.
could you please go and find a terrible bit to start with, did they?
Well, mate, I thought people would like you. You know that scene in Batman Forever where the Riddler taunts Bruce Wayne, Val Kilmer, and he opens it up, and it's a riddle like, I have a face but no eyes, or something like that, blah blah blah. And Bruce Wayne's like, it's a watch face or a clock, and then they go to the clock. So I thought that relates to what we're doing,
Right.
But then what I realized is movement make watches, not clocks necessarily.
Right.
So what I was kind of hoping is that no one would notice.
I mean, it is a company, I believe, that was started by two guys who were frustrated that clocks cost way too much, right? Oh, no, hang on.
Yeah,
no,
that was their grandfather.
Oh, that was their grandfathers.
Yes, movement watches was started by two guys who thought you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a stylish watch.
Okay, well, that's a good thought for them.
Movement watches start at $95.
Okay, that's a good price.
At a department store, for equivalency, you pay about $400 to $500 for the same kind of
I
watch.
wouldn't. I'd walk away. I'd be like, no way. I'd prefer to not know what the time is than spend that much money on a watch.
I'd rather buy a clock.
I'd go straight to a clock store.
I'm
That's
gonna
where
buy
I
a
go.
grandfather clock.
I would get myself a backpack and I would carry around Big Ben on my back to tell the time rather than pay $400 or $500
I'm going to carry
for a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have classic design, quality construction, and styled minimalism.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Minimalism.
Yeah.
Define that in a watch.
Well, not much. I mean, it's got hands, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be too minimal. If it goes to the point where it has no hands and you can't tell what the time is, then if it's just a disc that you wear on your wrist, then too minimal. Pull it up, movement.
With over 1 million witches. With over
Hang on, 1 million witches? That's how they get them so cheap. You get the witches involved.
Gypsies.
Exactly.
Gypsy watches.
Hang on, I don't know if we can say that.
Can we not? Is that racist?
Yeah, it might be.
I take that back. I
Take that off.
apologise.
We'll just
Don't curse
edit.
me.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Oh, you've made it worse now.
Oh, shit.
Now we definitely have to cut this bit out.
Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com/TOFOP. Hey, I've got to describe the watch that I have.
Oh, okay.
That I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
All right.
It's dark. It's black. It's black metal, and it has
God, you're bad at describing things.
It has copper hands. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks good, right?
I feel like... Hang on. When they said describe it, I don't think they meant just describe what a watch looks like.
Right.
I think they meant like describe how much you enjoy it. Like how much you enjoy your watch or something, I imagine, right?
Yeah. Well,
They weren't like just like describe what a watch is in case your idiot listeners don't understand.
All right, I'm going to take a mulligan on that one. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to that one next week. I'm going to
Okay.
practice that one.
To be continued. Tune in next week to find out.
Go to movement.com/TOFOP and join the movement. Now on with the show.
The following episode of TOFOP is rated MA. It may contain Batman references, time travel references, sexual references, lost trains of thought, and mild coarse language. TOFOP advises that the program is not suitable for anyone under the age of 15 or anyone who enjoys succinct, coherent conversation that might actually have a point. Minors must be accompanied by a parent, guardian, or priest. This is John Deek speaking.
Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Wil Anderson. And joining us is a guest that we'd like to have on the show whenever we're all in the same place. Justin Hamilton.
Hello, Justin.
Hello. Thanks for having me here. I really want to buy a clock.
Yeah, Justin. Justin was. It was very nice of you
Yeah.
to stand awkwardly and silently
Yeah, as
while we
we-
started to try to pay for this podcast.
No, I really enjoyed it. It was.
I mean, it's nice to see that. Obviously, the 8 takes we take to
Yeah.
get the best possible one that you
Right.
guys have just heard.
Right.
There's absolutely no way we just do
Because
one
our
take.
standards
Yeah.
are really high when it
Yeah,
comes to this.
absolutely.
Kind of
You've
stuff.
got to. I think you should do the right thing by everyone listening and release the bloopers.
Yeah, the other 7.
Yeah.
The other 7 versions.
Yeah.
But that one was definitely the best one.
Oh, by far. I pictured it in black and white the whole time I was watching it. I felt like it was from
Black and white 'cause it's-
1957.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah,
classy,
TV.
Classy? Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, like we're old pitching.
Tradition. It was good.
Yes,
You
right.
know,
Yes.
you were archetypes. You were no longer Will and Charlie. You were tapping into a subconscious level of performance that I've never seen before. And
Well,
I really
you know what it was
enjoyed
like? It felt
Alright.
like maybe if we do one of those episodes where it's like, you know, in Sherlock, they did that version
Oh,
where
yeah.
it was like back in ye oldie Sherlock
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
right?
So we were 1956 pitchmen on TV. Is what you're
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So, well, we're doing this sort of. No, I imagine we've got some sort of oldie timey radio show. We're radio
Yes.
men.
Ah, right.
And
Yeah.
our sponsor.
Here comes the horse
Right.
bringing the movement watches.
Right. But they're not. They're movement grandfather clocks.
Hello, Justin.
Hello. I just came in to get a cup of sugar.
A cup of sugar.
No, really, a cup of sugar.
No, that's not Will's sugar. That's something else.
And back to the sponsors.
Yeah. So look, you know, I like that idea, and then maybe there'd be one in the future where we're still, you know, doing the podcast. You know, like.
Do you
'Cause
still
I
look
mean-
the same, or what are you? Is like one of you a head in a jar, and the other one is a hologram? What would you be?
I've been thinking about this a little bit recently because we got to a point with the podcast where, because it's been nearly 8 years since we started out, right?
I know.
And what's really happened in the world since then
Yeah.
is
You're
that
laughing like. That's like finding out. That's like when you find out Smallville got to 10 seasons. You're like, really?
like it's
Like
a,
people still listen.
it's a long time for something that neither of us have really been able to explain to other people. It's like your family thought you'd get over that weird hobby you had.
Oh, yeah.
But you're still going
Yeah.
fishing with
Yeah.
that friend. This
I
is
know.
our Brokeback Mountain.
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our wives look in the opposite direction for 1 hour a week.
Oh man, broke Pod Mountain. I love it.
Well, that's a thing though, is because now that podcasting is getting more popular and people are
Right.
becoming more aware.
Yeah.
Anytime people ask me to describe the show or like, oh, and I've heard you got a podcast, I'd love to listen. I'm always like, I don't know you would.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
you would. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to sell it to people. I
Well,
don't- I-
so
on the
but this
back of
is
what?
but this is kind of gets me to the point I was going to make, which is this. Like, we got to the point where we were like, all these new podcasts are around now, and the podcasts are all about stuff, you know,
Yeah.
and about interesting stuff.
My dad wrote a porno.
right.
Yeah.
You know, the dollar,
Did he?
which is absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that wasn't
No,
even
no,
me.
no, no.
naming
Right.
the
Oh, there's a podcast called
Right,
that.
yeah.
Right,
Sorry.
yeah, right.
I know.
My dad was called like Anal Bandit 6. It was a real porno.
Yeah, it's a real
Right,
porno.
wow.
Yeah.
My dad wrote a real porno.
Yeah, yeah. The Charlie
None
Clausen
of
story.
this fucking like erotica
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
No, a real fucking hardcore dicks in offices
Oh,
porno.
yeah,
My dad
yeah.
wrote like a hardcore porno.
Yeah, some nut banging rock. That's what you're saying, right?
My dad saw people dig ditches.
Right.
I'm not talking about in the road.
No. Unless it was in the ditch.
Welcome to our new podcast. My dad wrote a hardcore porno.
Each week is you trying to sell it to studios.
Were you disappointed that my dad wrote a porno wasn't about an actual porno?
Yeah.
Then do we have the podcast for you? It's my dad wrote a hardcore porno.
Man, the
and
sad
it-
part of that is I don't know. My father could have.
You know what we could do? Yeah. But you know, actually, here's what we
What a
could
way
do.
to find out.
If we really wanted to make money out of podcasting,
Yeah.
what we should do is become, you know how there's these studios that essentially their specialization is to kind of make knockoff versions of pre-existing
Yeah.
big brands and kind
Yeah.
of sell them as their own.
Yeah.
What if we did that for the world of podcasting. So we just looked at the iTunes top 10 podcasts.
Yeah.
And we made like knockoff versions. So my dad wrote a hardcore porno. That's obviously a first one that you could do. But you could like, look up whatever the other big ones are and like do knockoff versions of them.
I'll rip off Richard Fidler and do chats.
Yeah.
He's got conversations. I'll do chats.
Yeah. But with the same people.
Same people.
But
It's a little bit shorter.
Well, no,
it's a bit
longer.
more about me.
No.
Great to have you in here. You've been through a lot. So what do you think of me?
No, your conversations is Richard's ones, but we edit out Richard.
Yeah.
We edit you in asking the questions,
Yeah.
but you also ask them one more question on the phone. Right. So yours is better than his.
Right. Yeah, of course. Right.
With a follow-up.
Yeah. So the thing I was going to say was we've started to have to think about this idea of going, well, there's all these new big players now. There's podcast networks and stuff. What happens to our tiny little thing that we can't explain to anybody?
Yeah.
And
Our
so,
dirty secret.
so what
Right.
happens to our dirty secret, essentially?
Yeah. Spit on the Fingers Productions.
There's just after a
You
while.
wrote the hardcore porno, sounds like.
Don't look at me like that. I'm nobody's father.
Yeah, essentially it gets to a point where you've got to kind of try to make it a job of some kind.
Yeah.
Or you're just two weirdos like
Yeah.
getting drunk at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
We have to legitimize the operation.
It's so-
Essentially, if this
yeah.
was a front, if this was a crime organization,
Right.
you have to create a legitimate front so you can still continue to carry out your illegal activity.
Yeah, exactly. We need a front. We need
Yeah.
some books.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We should start a charity.
Oh,
my God,
yes.
that's the best one. No one's going to question a charity.
I mean-
well, I guess we have a charity. We've got a Patreon, so we are.
Yeah.
we are a charity.
Yeah. It's about time you started sending some autographed photos and some letters
In fact-
to the listeners.
In fact, we're not even a charity. We're the receivers of charity.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there should be a charity for us. What we need is a charity on board using us as the people who get sent the money.
Yeah.
We need
Exactly.
fundraisers.
Yeah.
We need people in the street like those people
Shaking
who,
the tins.
Yeah, like the Oxfam people
Yeah.
who are raising money for us.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop
they're
you
like,
at the lights.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As you're walking down the street, sir, have you got 5 minutes?
Right.
Can I come talk to you? And
Podcast?
You're like, oh,
You're like-
God, no. You put your headphones in when you see the
Yeah.
TOFOP collectors
Yeah.
coming.
You guys are the make too many wishes kids.
Right. But
You get all of them.
But we sign up a couple, you know?
Yeah.
Law
Right.
averages.
Or
we pay
we-
some backpackers.
Yeah.
Well,
to
maybe-
sign some people up.
Maybe
good.
I reckon if we've got TOFOP, out there collecting for us, like maybe we hire some of those kind of professional, money raisers, go out to the sidewalks and stuff.
Yeah.
If it's TOFOP, they've got to have a different approach. I want like a rock and roll approach. They're like the, take no prisoners. They're not politely asking, hey, have you got a minute
Yeah.
to talk?
Yeah.
They're putting you in a headlock and fucking saying, sign up to this.
Oh, right. I was picturing some dude with blonde dreadlocks.
Dyson Heppel?
No, just in general. Like, that's who would be doing it for you. Kind of a little bit smelly. Like,
I don't mind who does it.
A little
I just
bit of
think
a
their
funk to
approach,
him.
Though. Like, I don't want our collectors to be taking a backward step.
That's what I mean.
They're like, join us.
No, I feel like the opposite. What I
Really?
want is like really, really fucking passive as if they're not trying to sell you anything at all.
Right.
Hot girl at a bar.
Right. Hot girl at
That attitude.
Well, not just that attitude. Hot girls at bars. This is how we do it.
right.
It's literally just the hot girl at the bar. And if a guy comes up and is like, hey, can I get your number? She goes, I'll give you my number if you listen to this podcast. That's our marketing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are we going to get hot girls to spruik our show? We have to pay them.
Well, you're going to have to get those backpackers.
Yeah.
What
They're
backpackers?
backpackers. They're,
Yeah.
we're getting
Oh,
them
right. Like,
at the airport.
yeah, okay.
We're getting them in.
Yeah.
Bondi. What am I talking about?
Yeah, nothing.
yeah,
Go to
you're
Bondi.
right.
Yeah.
We'll just go down to
Fucking
Bondi.
hell, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll sit it on the hill with Buddy Franklin. We'll collect like 5.
I've got a spare shower here. We can get them to work for a shower. That'll be fine. They can shower
Do you really
outdoors.
have a
It's
spare
fine.
shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an outdoor shower.
Where?
Just at the end here, next to the pool heater. Yeah, I'm describing
never
rich people things.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at Will getting all relatable again.
I don't have
Oh,
a,
you can't see it. Just look behind my Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a pool. I just have a pool heater. It's weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sometimes the pool gets cold. Whatever. Guys. Anyway, climate change, guys.
I think I saw that set the other night.
Okay, so here's the thing I was going to say is, so because we decided, we got to a point where we had to have a conversation about the podcast, which was basically, what do we do? Do we just keep it as like,
That's literally how it went
Yeah.
too. What do we do?
do we keep it as like a hobby, like a side project, just something we do for fun? Or if we're going to keep doing it, we have to kind of find a way to do it as like at least a pretend job of sorts. A thing that kind of justifies itself enough that we can keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's basically all we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the most ambitious, but if we could just justify itself enough that we can keep doing it, that would work out fine for us. So it did occur to me, though, that in doing that, you're looking for sponsors, you're getting other people involved in helping us do those sort of things. We start, building an infrastructure around the podcast with James Fosdyke and all these sort of guys. James, who's doing these regular comic book strips for us and stuff. And then
Mike Howell.
I'm like, oh, hang on. We can't stop.
Yes.
And then I'm suddenly like, when do we get to stop?
No.
When do we get to stop, Charlie?
I don't know.
Like, we didn't think that through.
No.
Like, if we lock this in, we then have to just keep doing it. And
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's really signing us up to, like, how long do we have to do it for?
Well-
Can we get other people to
Yeah, you could
to
go a new
replace
Wiggles.
us?
Yeah, you could do a new Wiggles.
That's a good point. I
You
never
could
thought
franchise
about
yourselves.
that. Do we have to like create like defined parameters? But hang on, if you're falling in love, right? You don't say like if you're having a holiday romance and you know it's going to end. That's why it's always they're always like heightened a holiday romance. Because like, well, I'm on this island for 2 weeks. I know it's not going to go anywhere. So we could say that. We could say, oh, well, you know what? TOFOP, we're wrapping it up in 2 years, and then we just like enjoy it, knowing that we're going to work hard, but then we get to that point, we're going to walk away.
Yeah.
And then you get to that point, and you can John Farnham it and go, well, you know what?
Yeah.
We enjoyed that 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's roll on again.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
you
that's
just
a
do
good
a
point.
one-off special. Like, you just do a live show.
Well, just knowing that there's an out is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I've found the way, since we've brought on Mike Howell and we started doing it more regularly and stuff, like, it was more of an event when we started it, because the whole reason behind doing the podcast was to catch up. But now we can fit it in and around, like being in different countries on fucking lunch breaks and stuff. It's like, have you got a spare hour to chat? It's like, oh yeah, so it's become more of this thing that's been easy to do. So I haven't actually noticed the miles we've clocked up, because we're finally actually on a roll where we're doing like two different shows a week, pretty much every week.
Right.
But it's easy with Mike Howell. Like that's what makes it kind of...
Well, I guess this is the whole point. It's like any money that we might get out of this and all these sort of things would just be to get other people to make it easier for us.
And to, fucking buy like, not fur coats, but faux fur coats.
Yeah, faux coats.
Faux
Faux
coats.
coats.
Faux coats.
Yeah,
Actually,
faux fop
I'm gonna
coats.
faux fop coats. And mine's actually going to have fur in it too. It's actually going to be like, like one of those sort of spa jackets, but
Oh, yeah.
full of fur.
Yeah.
So at any stage I want some delicious fur, I can just like suck a little bit of it out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There should be more edible clothes. Who doesn't want some toast underpants?
Oh, yeah. I'd be in for a licorice tie.
Well, they have.
Ah, licorice tie.
Also, my dancing name in the 90s.
They have edible underwear, right? Why couldn't they have edible other clothes? They have
Yeah.
those edible necklaces.
Oh, yeah.
Edible
Right.
rings, those edible wedding rings.
necklaces.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah. They're the worst of all the
Every time
lollies.
you'd bite into one, you'd think, is that the lolly or my tooth?
All right.
Yeah.
Can I ask you? When you get
Yeah.
a party mix, the juby kind of jelly.
certainly
sort of
do.
thing. So let's agree
Talking
on
my
what's in
talk.
there. So there's strawberries and cream,
Yep.
Yep.
pineapple,
Yep.
pineapple,
Yep.
the mini
Yep.
pineapple
Racing
things,
cars.
racing cars, snakes.
Snakes.
And what else? Is there
Bananas.
one other? Bananas. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Milk
all.
bottles. Did you say milk
What do you
bottles?
And milk
yeah,
bottles.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you? What do you-
Teeth. Sometimes teeth.
Sometimes teeth.
No, we won't put teeth in.
There's an
We're
old
not
school
putting
and new
teeth in
school
it.
one, actually. There's two different
Yeah.
ones. I
Okay,
think.
but let's cap it. What we've
There's
just
usually-
everything we've just said. What is it? What do you go for first?
First out of all those
Do
things,
you want fruity, citrusy, or sweet, sort of milky?
I'm going to say racing car probably.
Good
Red
pick.
racing car. Maybe a blue racing car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I know that Amy likes both a red and blue racing car, so we ourselves have a bit of a race to the racing cars. But we also both have, well, at least look. I'm not going to say that I'm a hero, but I'm going to leave some racing cars. But I would
Yeah.
like to at least just get one or two in
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
and then if she wants the rest of them,
With that kind
she
of
can have
attitude, you can march whenever you want.
yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, sir. No, Anzac Day, I'm marching along, and I was like, "Did you go on one of those war tours that do stand up?" And I'm like, "Oh no,
It's
no,
got
no,
a
no."
racing. You got
just
like a
really-
row of racing cars, different
Yeah.
coloured racing cars, pick your shirt like medals.
And you can eat that as you
These
walk
are all
along.
the ones that let my girlfriend eat.
What about you?
Well, controversial first choice. I go for a pineapple first. I like to cleanse the palate with a bit of citrus.
Yeah, sure.
But then I'm definitely into the strawberries and cream or a racing car.
Yeah.
Strawberries and cream I love because you can make it last longer. I'll eat
Yeah.
the cream off first, and then you have the cherry bit for afters.
Yep, that's pretty hot.
Strawberries and cream with the cherry.
Cherry. Well, you've made it into a cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I love how you talk about all these things as if they actually contain fruit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The citrus
I have this bit of
pineapple.
sugar to cleanse the palate.
Sorry, the alpha droxley 15 cleanses the palate.
Justin, what's your order? What do you go for?
I usually put snake, pineapple, and strawberry and cream in my mouth all at once.
Yeah, you do like.
Do you do
Yeah.
the mega?
I'm
mega
pre-diabetic.
Yeah,
No, but you do every
and then
every gulp you
clinically
take.
depressed.
Right.
No, but
It's
you
the only
do,
way I get through life.
you do like to mash them together.
I do.
Yeah, that's definitely your vibe.
I like to get a purple and yellow snake and twist them around each other so it feels like I'm eating Laker goodness.
I like that though.
I spend a lot of time
that
alone.
feels very like food forward or something to me. That feels like you're a sort of person who's like you're just experimenting a bit more.
Yeah.
You're mixing, you're matching.
Can I ask just not to stay in confectionery?
No,
all night?
please, let's. I know I've got other questions
Okay, all right.
after this.
How
so-
do you eat a wagon wheel?
I don't really.
Oh,
you used
yeah.
to,
Yeah, I know.
but how did you eat a wagon wheel?
Okay. I would say nibble around all the outside first,
Yep.
then pull apart, separate into two separate halves.
Yeah,
and
but
then-
what halves? How the halves? What are the order of the halves going?
Oh. No, I can't remember enough detail
Oh,
of that.
really?
No, okay.
I reckon you'd finish with the cream one. Wouldn't you? You'd eat the jam one first. Feels like it would be the order. That's the order.
No, I think yeah,
So hang on, you say finish with jam, finish with cream.
No, I just eat it in 4 bites.
yeah,
right, so you eat it all
Yeah.
at once?
Yeah, I'm like
He's
the
all
Cookie
at once.
Monster.
Yeah,
I break it,
yeah.
I peel the marshmallow off one side, eat that, eat the biscuit, blank biscuit now,
Oh, yeah.
right.
then eat the jam and biscuit because that's the best bit all at
Right,
once.
deconstruct.
If I can
I
deal with
don't-
that,
I don't know. I don't like
flossing
that.
out.
I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't like the marshmallow by itself. I feel like that's something that I'm.
No,
just
that's
like,
great. 'Cause
Nah.
It's like it makes it fun. It's all like sticky and like it's like very
needs to me. The marshmallow needs something else to balance
But
it
the
out.
biscuit
It's
is
too-
so good. You have a biscuit like once you peel the marshmallow off, and the biscuit's great. It's really good.
Yeah, but the biscuit's still there if you have the marshmallow on. It hasn't like it doesn't
No, but you don't want to eat them
change.
together. I'm just saying it's like worth.
Why don't you want to
separating
eat them together?
to bring out the flavor of the biscuit?
Yeah, but I think you're sacrificing because you're spoiling your palate. With
All right,
the
how about
full-
this? I will take a bite of everything all together. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, that's what they taste like together, and then I'll deconstruct it like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think.
Man, you're like Hannibal.
Yeah, yeah, like a kid who's found a bunny and
Yeah.
pets it and then
I want
cuts
to
it
see
apart
its
to see how it
heart.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see its heart, father.
Try to put it back together. It's just all over your hands.
My parents just find like 15 different animals buried under
Yeah.
my bed.
Yeah.
If
You know what
it's
I'm
together.
You know what I'm enjoying eating at the
Okay,
moment
go.
is a Vita wheat with peanut butter on it and a little bit of jam and a little bit of cheese.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I can see that.
Peanut butter and cheese. I've
Yeah,
never
I
even
really
thought of
enjoy the
that.
way it sucks all of the moisture out of my face.
You know what?
Then you have a glass of water and it feels so good.
It would definitely do that. Here's the
This
thing.
guy's single.
Why the Vita wheat? That's the bit of it that I don't quite
Vita
get.
wheat's
Oh,
as
I'm
much.
nice.
trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
I would like to say that's a joke.
I've been eating a lot of Vita Wheats lately.
Yeah, they're good.
They're so good. I like just
Are
putting
they good?
butter and honey. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
They're such a great dessert biscuit when you put the right amount of
Oh,
sugar
man.
on them.
Yeah, they're
Halloumi,
delicious.
honey on a Vita Wheat.
Yeah, shit.
How about without a Vita wheat? How about I just
Yeah,
on some
that's,
something-
that's
I mean,
good too.
halloumi. Fuck, you know, we've done an entire episode about how we feel about halloumi. Like halloumi is the greatest cheese of all time.
Oh,
Sweet,
man.
savory, raw, cooked.
Have
in a
we
watermelon
By the
salad.
way, I just need to ask: have we ordered something and forgotten it? And I'm going to get really excited because I'm really hungry all of a sudden.
Amy got some stuff at the shops.
Oh, everything's going to
Yeah.
be okay. All right, that's good.
You're hypoglycemic.
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah.
inclning halloumi, I believe there
Yeah.
might be some
Oh,
halloumi.
I was about to have
barbecue.
I was about to have an Al Pacino moment in Godfather Part 3.
So, Terminator 2,
Oh,
they've done
yeah.
a 3D release. Jeff
Yeah,
went and
yeah.
saw it last week. Apparently, it's fucking incredible.
Talk into the microphone a little bit more.
Who
Oh,
wants
yeah,
to come and
that's
see Terminator 2 Judgment Day 3D? Don't you think that would be amazing? Do you know what they've done with this film? Like they've spent like 5 years doing
Yeah.
this conversion on it.
Right.
And James Cameron did this big interview, and he said the thing about
That he
3D.
hates Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And he thinks Wonder Woman's dumb.
Yeah.
Well, that's in context. He was sort of saying
He just
that-
said it was a stupid movie
No.
and Wonder Woman's stupid and he thinks women are stupid. From the outrage I read on Twitter, I believe that's what he said.
No, I think he.
From the hashtag.
Yeah.
he
He hates women filmmakers.
He was
and
all
women
he's
shouldn't be able to
saying
make
is that
films
look
or fight crime.
exactly. Like, how can you
Or
fight
be-
crime from
yeah.
the kitchen?
Exactly.
Was what he was saying.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she fought crime, but look at the bedroom at home. It's a
Right.
mess, isn't it? So I'm James Cameron. I'll be under the ocean if you need to contact me.
Yeah. Making 17 Avatar
But
movies.
he's taken this like time to do this 3D conversion. He was saying
Yeah.
that most 3D films look terrible because studios rush it.
Yeah.
But he was saying you could go back and do like really good if you spent like years 3D conversions of all these classic old films if they've been shot correctly.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's like, what are you laughing at?
No, I just
Just the way that we keep
coming in
saying
at the same
the
time.
exact same time with these like, I mean, I guess you could, but why would you? Why would you?
You
is
wouldn't
my
want to go
question.
back and see some of like your favorite films like in 3D.
Nah,
because you can
not
actually-
really.
Really?
No, I'm not
Nah.
really into 3D.
Not
I've
that.
really
I
enjoyed
mean, if they
not
made
seeing
it
3D.
in 3D, sometimes I'd see it in 3D. But like Mad Max, I thought was good in 3D. But in general, nah.
Really?
Nah.
I'm very excited about going on like he's talking about doing Aliens and being on that spaceship in 3D. I think would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's a better idea than making any new Aliens movies. But
Oh yeah.
like, so maybe just like in those
Have we
situations.
talked about? I feel like did we talk about Alien Covenant? I think we did.
I feel like we did too.
Anyway.
Jeez, right?
But yeah,
Come on.
fingering. I mean,
Like
they must have known. that
Like
was
you
gonna
had
get
to
a
know
big
that was a
laugh.
joke, right? Like it was.
Have you seen it, Will?
I haven't seen it, but
Oh.
I'm not gonna see it.
Okay.
There's a great fingering
Spoilers,
joke in
by
it.
the way, because in case anybody's mad, because we on our other podcast we may have one little tiny thing from Game of Thrones might have slipped out
On
in our
TOFOP?
footy chat.
Yeah. No, on Two
In
Guys,
footy,
One
yeah.
Cup.
Why were you talking about Game of Thrones on the
Well,
footy
it
one?
was
I can't
just
even
I can't even
remember.
remember. It was
Oh,
a
yeah, that's
It's a
throwaway-
metaphor.
It was a throwaway line about football.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
it
is
was a
this is why
metaphor-
sports and nerds should never mix.
It was a metaphor or an analogy or a
Well,
something.
it did actually make me.
and-
At first, I was like, "Oh, come on, dude! Like, you can't fucking protect." But then I was like, "No, getting the spoilers does suck." Like, when
Yeah,
you
without a doubt.
inadvertently, like, I'll listen to stuff all the time. I'll like rip my headphones out as if they're made of acid because
Yeah.
like I hear them start to talk about something that I want
Yeah.
to
I
say.
must admit, I don't give a shit about spoilers, but
Really?
I give a shit about other people's right to not have things
Yeah.
spoiled.
Yeah.
Like early on when we were on Triple J, the first season of Survivor, we essentially spoiled that on air for some people, and we just didn't. Like back then, it was just I didn't quite get it. We didn't quite get it. We thought we were being hilarious and whatever. And in retrospect,
wow,
I'm
man.
like, in
Oh my god, how's this? This is a guy who was a hitman who's now turned his life to
Yeah.
God, and he
Yeah.
was like, "I was young, I didn't understand
hey,
the value of life. If you grew up in the streets like I did,
I
you would have
do.
made,
I-
the same, you would have made the same jokes."
I regret it.
Yeah.
I regret it. I was caught
That's
up.
why I
in
got
a
this
situation.
tattoo. It's like never spoil, blood
Yeah,
will
yeah.
not fill in the soil.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah. So no,
Big tattoo, Will.
I have to say, I used to do that in the Bunta Boys. We used to give away the ending to a movie
You
that came out on a
fucking
Thursday.
cockets.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Like, I don't feel bad about it at all. It used to get so many laughs, and the reason it made me
funny.
laugh so much is because I knew how angry I would be, and
Yeah.
that's why.
That's why it's funny.
That's why it's funny,
No, I get
because
it.
you're kind of acknowledging it. If it wouldn't hurt you, you wouldn't think to do it.
Right. And the other thing
Nah,
is, if you are
good point, yeah.
genuinely so concerned about spoilers, then you just have to stop consuming everything or watch it at
Yeah.
the time when it's on.
Yeah.
Because I assume the minute I go on the internet, if I have not, and even in America, like if you're in LA, like I'll watch like Game of Thrones, and I forget that like it's on air 3 hours beforehand in
Yeah.
New York, so you like have to avoid the internet for
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole day.
I'm actually
But
quite.
I do understand that you might think I haven't watched Game of Thrones yet, but I can still listen to this AFL football podcast because there's no way they will bring up
Yeah.
a spoiler.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say is, in your average episode of Game of Thrones at the moment, there are about 12 or 14 things that happen that you could say is a spoiler.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a spoiler that spoiled like a massive fucking thing.
No,
It was
not
just-
at all.
It's just one of those things where you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
But
I
you know,
am too.
I'm
sometimes
kind of sorry.
I'm kind of sorry.
I'm like-
yeah. Can we leave
I'm
that?
kind
I'm
of
kind of
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry that. Oh no! If
This
we
is
were a
the
footballer
worst
making an
Justin Bieber
apology, it's
song.
like
Yeah.
You know, I sincerely
if anyone was
apologize if
offended.
you were
No.
annoyed by our revealing. Yeah, that's what it is.
No. I fully acknowledge their right to be offended. Oh no, hang on.
Yeah, but it is the same
That
thing.
is the same thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Unreservedly, rather than being caught in a compromised sorry, I'm going to say I'm sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
I'm gonna be-
I will try not in the future to repeat that behavior.
I'm going to be.
Anyway, here's what happens in the Game of Thrones.
I'm going to be a footballer who's clearly been given a directive by the club to
yeah.
make an
Okay,
apology,
yeah,
a written
good.
statement.
Yeah, for
and I'll
balance.
read that,
Uh-huh.
and I'll say that I sincerely apologise for any hurt caused to the individual.
Yep.
But you'll be able to tell from looking at me that I don't actually mean it 100%. But the fact is, I'm saying it and acknowledge it. Everyone's willing to let it go.
Yeah.
So you just told everyone that you're not being sincere.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
No,
By the way, what was the spoiler?
no.
I'm really curious.
I can't even remember. That's the whole thing.
man.
Was it something about
Yeah.
dragons? I can
Yeah.
say dragons. Saying the word dragons is not a Game of Thrones spoiler, by the way, fucking guys. Some people react
I
like
love
that.
this. Now we're doubling down. You thought that was a spoiler? Well, this isn't a spoiler
Yeah.
because we say so. Oh, that's a spoiler? I'm sorry.
Now I've turned into Trump. I've done my one sensible press conference
Yes.
where I
That's
apologise
exactly
and I'm
right.
back on message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the next one when I'm meant to have moved on, I'm like, you know what? There was trouble on both sides. There's some good White Walkers.
Yeah.
There are some good White Walkers.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I was the arsehole lefty journalist in the crowd who threw you off. Oh, man, that is funny.
But it is hard when you're, I mean, I understand. Like when you live in a world where like we don't live in that world anymore where people are watching things at the same time.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. But I always, you know what? I reckon when something's come out, give it like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Give it 48 hours because if you really love something, you'll get to it in that 48 hours.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all bets are off because we can't all be taking responsibility. All
And
But
I-
also
I-
like red wedding style spoilers.
Spoilers.
yeah.
No, but I'm not going to say anything else. But I think you can say red. I mean,
People by now, come on.
Yeah.
That's like 5 seasons ago.
but
or
red
something.
wedding style spoilers, right?
Yeah.
I understand that. Sit on that for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think I think the time frame has definitely shrunk. It used to be, like wait a week or whatever. Now it's like wait 2 days.
Well, this would be my argument. Say what you want to say, just don't put it in your heading.
right.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll avoid everything. But if I'm flicking through and then it says,
I also-
Laura Palmer flies dragon, I'll think, oh, great. It ends with a crossover.
Yeah.
Game of Peaks.
Yeah.
That'd be a great
Twin
last
Dragons.
episode.
Twin Thrones.
I also trust in because I have like consumer fatigue. I also trust my ability to forget things. Like I will read an article or something and there will be like spoiler plot information, but I also trust my ability to forget that information because I'm reading something on another webpage like 2
Right.
seconds
Well,
later.
I have two things like that. One of them is exactly what you've said, is that idea of like I will forget. By the time I actually watch the thing,
By the time I've gone to
I
the
will
next
forget.
website.
But secondly, I'm an idiot. So often the fact that I've read a little bit about it beforehand or like someone else has explained what happened helps me understand what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Particularly in like something like Game of Thrones, because half the time I'm like, hang on, who's that fella? Who's that fella again?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's people in it who are like not in it for 5 seasons, and then everyone celebrates because they're back, and I'm like,
Oh, no,
Oh,
I
that
never
guy.
know.
I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
I thought you were dead. Or
I
something.
100%.
I don't know.
I can-
I'm exactly the same.
This new season, Jeremy and I watched the recap of season 6, and even having watched that before we started, I was like, "What? What's going on? I don't
Yeah.
know." Like, I need constant fucking. Remember the first few seasons, they didn't even do episode reminders. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When they first started, they wouldn't do any kind of recap of the previous episodes, and I was just like, I have no idea what's going on. But now, it's like when you can understand another language but you can't speak it. It's like, oh, I get what's going on, I understand, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
Don't ask me about the minutia. I have no idea.
Character names, I know.
That
like
might be a
4.
character, by the way.
I mean, seriously, if you sat me down right now and went, do me a family tree, I mean, I could have some guesses at some stuff.
If I said House Baratheon, who's that? 'Cause
Yep,
that
one
one
of
comes to
them,
my head.
definitely.
But I have no idea how it relates to anyone.
Robert, right?
Robert Baratheon?
Robert Baratheon?
And
yeah,
so
Robert
who's he?
Baratheon.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's no longer around. He was married
the-
to
did he-
Cersei.
Oh, he was the Mad King. No, was he the Mad King?
No, that was
Who was the
Daenerys.
Mad King?
That was
Oh,
Daenerys.
Targaryen.
Who is?
Yeah.
See?
What? So hang on. Daenerys' dad was mad?
By the way, I'm surprised we've gotten this far. Sorry, what?
I don't know. Okay, and so what's the name of Captain Friendzone?
Captain Friendzone, yeah.
Daenerys's, the old
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
The guy's way too old to be into it.
Old mate
Sir Jorah.
had some bad skin.
What's
Yeah,
his name? Sir
yeah.
Jorah.
Yeah, Sir
Spoilers.
Jorah.
Spoilers had some bad skin. Had some bad skin issues.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
yeah,
Had a
really
melanoma
bad.
removed.
Yeah.
Dermatitis.
Hang
Yeah.
on. So is he he's a knight, Sir?
Yeah, I think he was.
What's his
now he
surname?
was
I mean,
from
say the name
another
again?
family.
Sir Nola.
Sir Jorah.
Sir
Isn't it
Jorah,
Jorah?
As in, so got a sword.
J-O-R-A-A.
That's his name.
Hey, Sir
Yeah.
Jorah, what a sword Jorah.
Yeah,
No, that was actually his nickname at
Yeah.
training camp.
Yeah.
Saw Jorah because he sucked everybody off.
yeah.
So-
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, that's probably why he got kicked out of his family and had to go and meet Danny. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It all fits in. All fits in.
But old mate, fucking, beautiful boy, come back. Oh,
Jon
spoilers,
Snow-
came back
Oh,
from the
no,
dead.
no, don't you fucking fucked it. We're so bad at this.
Wow.
Jon
Everyone
Snow.
Everyone knows
Jon
that.
Snow.
That's a couple of seasons.
Everyone
ago,
knew it when
right?
he when
When
he
it
died.
happened.
The
Yeah,
bastard.
exactly.
Oh, he'll be back next season.
Yeah, it's like me saying, "Oh, Superman comes back probably in the next
Yeah.
movie."
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Like, spoilers.
Yeah,
I
what?
imagine.
Oh, so Joker movie. What do you think?
Oh, there's a bug in my mouth.
Oh, wow. I
was
thought
it
that was
really?
a very.
Oh, I
thought
that was
you were
your
really
reaction
angry.
to the Joker movie.
No, there was a bug crawling in my mouth.
Oh, I wish
Where did
people
that
at
come
home could have
from?
seen that.
Wow.
Well, we're out the back in the garden that is full of bugs.
Yeah, we're not.
so-
Yeah.
But we're not out in the open.
Well, I mean, some of those windows are open and there's garden outside. Bugs
Okay.
come in the window. That's
Alright.
just what happens, mate. That's nature.
Bug crawled my mouth.
Yeah.
How long have we done? What?
Oh, are you saying is it half time so that we can smoothly transition into a message from our sponsors? Charlie?
Yeah. I think so. So should we do it?
Yeah.
Justin, where are you going?
Justin needs to go to the toilet.
I'm going to go to the toilet.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah.
All right.
I think that would be
us
a
to it.
perfect time.
So I've got a good 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, can you get me a beer, please?
What am I?
Okay, the ad hasn't started yet, guys, because we're talking about getting beers. So you also get me a beer, and then as soon as we've just done this bit of conversation that is clearly not part of the ad,
Yeah.
we can then get into the ad.
Yes.
right.
But
Yeah.
by the way, just to show you that I'm a professional, I'm doing this on mic. No worries.
All right. So, movement watches, Will. I'm going to read some copy and then
Okay.
we can get down to it.
Get into it. Tell me
So-
what they want us to know about movement watches.
Movement watches start at $95.
Yep.
At a department store, you're going to pay $400 to $500 for that.
Minimum.
Movement figured out that by selling online, they're able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price.
You know who it's
that
bad
fucking
for?
bloody middleman.
Well,
Always trying to take dollars out of your pockets, right?
that is true. It is the middleman who's like really ramping up the prices. And if you cut out the middleman, you're going to have some good results. It's not good news for the middleman.
No.
That's what I will say. For any middlemen out there, if you are a middleman who listens to this podcast, we apologize. But for the benefit of the rest of our listeners, you've just got to get cut out of this process.
Yeah. You've been taking too many dollars from our pockets, middleman.
Yeah.
We're going to give them straight to movement watches. We're going to give them straight to guys who care about us.
Exactly.
Movement watches.
Yeah. No middleman has ever sponsored this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting no middleman bloody product to sell on this show.
Exactly. Unless middlemen want to get involved and hit us up at the
in this
podcast.
case, if there's any middlemen
Sure.
out there, yeah, we'll
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, we'll
I
sell
mean, if anything aims for the middle, it's this podcast. So
yeah, it's a good branding association there. Will,
for an imaginary company that does not sponsor us, but to the one that does, Charlie.
they have a classic design, quality construction, and styled minimalism. I have a movement watch.
Yeah.
It's a bit fancy to wear day to day, but I have worn it to a couple of zhuzhi wear a suit kind of events.
Are they own? Well, I know that you could choose from a whole range of watches,
Yes.
right? So was there ones that are more your sort of day-to-day casual wear?
100. They got
Yeah.
heaps of watches. This
And
one,
then
I like.
this
This
one,
one,
you
because-
got one that was a bit more fancy.
Yeah, I think it's called like the Black Rose, and it looks
Okay.
very cool. And I was like, it's one of those things where I don't know what you're like when you buy stuff, but if I buy a new jacket or something like that, I then put it in the cupboard and I'm too scared to wear it because like, it's for I need it for a good occasion. And then I'll save up to it. So my movement watch, the 3 events I've worn it to have been like black tie events, or I've put it on and I've felt a bit James Bond.
Oh, okay. So the movement watch is not necessarily getting for you at the moment your day-to-day use.
No.
But gee, when it comes out,
Yeah.
it's living the high life.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And there's other movement watches. Like I say, there's active watches. This one is more of your kind of black tie kind of one.
Uh-huh.
I think it reflects the kind of guy I am, suave, sophisticated.
It's so true.
Movement have sold over 1 million watches.
It's a lot of watches.
Over 160 countries. That's
a lot
how
of
many
countries.
are there in the world?
More than that.
320?
Nah. less
600?
than that. I don't know.
Google
I
it.
wish I knew.
Can you just Google how
I'm
many
going to Google it now.
countries in the world?
It's fine. We can Google how many countries there are in the world. All right, let's have
Justin, how many countries in the world are there?
I reckon there's 297.
And what did you guess, Charlie?
I said, I said like 300 and something, 320.
Okay, and how many do the good people at
Movement Watchers?
sell to?
160 countries.
160.
Yeah.
There are 195
Oh,
countries in the world.
shit, Movement from downtown.
Man,
Well
that's
done.
pretty good. Well
Hey,
done.
you know what? Maybe Movement could...
I'd like a list of the countries they don't go
What
to
if we take like...
that are on their vision board. I'd like to think down at the movement kind of headquarters, they've got a list of the countries. They've got a map of the world up there, and they're just like,
we did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we're-
they could, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Is
we're
it like
still
it's
gonna do it.
It's like a 1960s Mission Control, like an old like a map of the world up on the board, and they just like put little movement logo as they just like cross each country off.
That's what I like to think.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're not sure this is the case.
No,
We've not been on a tour,
no,
but
we would.
I mean, we would.
They want to fly us out to the bloody Movement Factory, which I imagine is like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but just watch themed.
Well, didn't they buy their own factory?
Did
They
they?
bought their own factory. Remember? Like, this is what we talked about last time. They bought their own factory to cut out the middleman. So they cut out the middleman.
Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com/TOFOP. No, I think we've said enough. Give the website.
All right.
Movement.com/TOFOP. Hey, join the movement. No, that doesn't work. Join the movement.
Give me one more.
Well, give me how do you want me to do it?
Okay, do it as if you feel like you're desperate for me to join the movement, and you need to convince me like straight away, like kind of like an end of the world scenario.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you've got to convince
so
me.
as
of,
in like they're coming.
yeah,
you've got to join the
and
movement.
you've got to let me know
Okay,
right now.
ready?
Give me that one.
Join the movement.
Actually, that's
Is
not
that
bad. No,
terrifying?
that was good. It was a
Is
bit
that too
terrifying,
aggressive?
but it was the right amount of terrifying.
Please,
Okay.
join the movement.
No, too desperate. Too desperate. Now give me one. Give me one that's more like you want me to join the movement, but you want me to feel like you don't care one way or the other whether I join the movement.
Join the movement.
Oh, actually, you know what? The power of acting. That's good, Charlie.
You know what? And that's how we want people to sell TOFOP.
Right.
Hey, listen to TOFOP, and then walk away and
Yeah.
enigmatically put a cigarette out. Join TOFOP and just like walk off.
I mean, it'd be a good point too. Like, I mean,
You know what? We need
Okay.
Ethan Hawke from Reality Bites type attitude. That's what we want. You know, Ethan Hawke in that film is just like, he's so annoyingly fucking Generation X, where he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man, I just fucking write poetry and I can't hold down a job and stuff, but I'll sleep on my friend's couch, you know? But I'm sexy, right? Because I don't care about anything, man.
yeah, absolutely.
That's
he was my hero when I was at uni. Ethan Hawke not Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's character in Reality Bites.
Really? I hated Ethan Hawke's character in Reality
Yeah,
Bites.
that's the
I
essential
liked Ben
tension
Stiller.
of the.
Oh my God.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
This is what has made this podcast successful all this years is that we are Ethan Hawke and Ben Stiller.
That's true.
Come to life.
I've always identified more with Ben Stiller than I did with Ethan Hawke. And you bloody floppy head. I listen to the Pixies. What? Oh my God, it is totally us.
Yeah, totally.
Ben Stiller's like nice, friendly, cares about her.
after
punctual.
I saw that movie, I like went and grew that goatee.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
That was and dressed like
Got
that.
a cokehead, mama, got a piehead, dad.
Right?
Does that make me Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
No, you're bloody Steve Zahn.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable with
Now you got to tell your mum you're gay.
that. Too late.
She'll be wrapped.
She would be
you could
fine with
also
it.
be Janine Garofalo. Because you've kind of got that, she's kind of got
cool.
that sort of sardonic sort of sense of humor, and
Am I sardonic?
you have an element of sardon,
No, I don't think. You're sardonish, maybe at best.
sardonish.
Yeah, but not sardonic.
Right.
That was just wordplay more than anything, to be honest, mate.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. That was sardonic. The way you
Sardonic.
expressed that.
That's
So,
another
yeah,
character
I
in
mean,
Game of Thrones, sardonic.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Sardonic
Sardonic
sonorous.
Jaw.
yeah. Well, it was from yeah.
So sardonic, so jaw. Wise.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah. I mean, I like that show, but yeah, I don't understand anything that's going on or why it's going on.
Who's your favourite character?
Hang on, is this still the advert?
Oh, no,
Oh,
we,
no,
no,
we-
join the
I
movement.
have
Oh,
was
no,
it.
no
Join the
idea.
Movement was the end of that.
Right. I
Oh,
have
why?
no
Were you-
idea. I thought.
Well, that's what it's
I
meant
was
to
ready to
sound
join.
like, Justin.
Right.
It's meant to be integrated into the show.
Fuck yeah.
It was
It's
good.
meant to be like you enjoy the advertisement as much as you enjoy the show, and you don't really notice that it is.
Well,
an
here's the
advertisement.
thing.
Well, it was
People
perfect.
know we're reading an ad. So
Well,
we're like,
obviously
okay, we're
they
not
do.
disguising that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we're just going to read the ad and,
Yeah.
and then talk about
And
it.
also,
Yeah.
the way that the ads work, guys, is that the people we're reading the ads of are the ones who came to the podcast and said, we'll give you some money. So they're people who like podcasts
Yeah.
and understand that people who listen to podcasts might buy their products, and they're supporting podcasts. So,
Yeah.
you know, so we're happy to have them on board. We wanted somebody to give us some money for the podcast, and they were the people who gave us some money for the podcast.
And we know
So-
how we feel, and we know how Will feels about anyone who's into him. It's his kryptonite.
Exactly. And I can't even, because I'm like an ABC person, I can't even get like a watch. They go like, you can have a watch if you like.
That's the-
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm not allowed to have it because because of my ABC stuff. Like,
Right.
They
It
can
sounds like a disease.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
ABC
Oh, my
stuff.
ABC
I've
stuff.
got a terrible case of ABC
Oh,
stuff.
oh,
It's
mate.
just,
I'm on
have that.
penicillin.
can't comment on the vote.
Sorry, I
can't
can't have you.
receive gifts.
Yeah, exactly. Can't express my opinions online about
Oh,
same-sex marriage. It's my
man.
ABC-itis.
Oh, it's killing me.
It's killing me, mate. It's acting up.
Oh, mate.
Give me a pain.
Always
down
in
my,
winter.
Right down my left-hand side.
But isn't, but can you comment on the fact that you can't comment?
Yeah, well, technically, I guess probably not, but you know, it's in that zone of
Yeah, you have to bring in the Escher law, but you'll be fine.
yeah. It's one of those things like where you always want to be like it's
That was an art
o-
joke, by the
over
way.
the over
No,
the years.
MC Escher, I've read a book.
I get it. Yeah, you can't stop him. No what? Hang on, that's not it.
No, that's MC Hammer, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
MC Escher.
And yeah, by the way, it's, you can't touch, not stop.
Oh no, but
Can't stop
No,
this.
that's MC Hammer.
Yeah.
MC Escher was you can't stop him.
Yeah.
Can't stop him. And he was talking about his mad design.
Yeah.
My pen moves quickly on the page. Makes me say.
Did you see that high school football coach hammer dancing?
Yeah.
That was great.
I really enjoyed it.
See, there's still good things in the world.
Yeah, that
No,
was
the
great.
the best GIF or whatever that went round during the last kind of horrible weeks we've had has been that one with the two bull terriers keeping a balloon in the air. Have you seen that one?
No.
Adam Richards posted it. I mean, lots of
Oh.
people have posted it.
Yeah.
And it is the most joy-filled, 36 seconds
Yeah.
you can watch where these two dogs keep this balloon afloat by jumping at it and knocking it into the air with their noses. It's fucking unbelievable. It's like, well, this will be good to watch as the world burns. to the
Mate,
ground.
I am watching a lot of that stuff. My favorite
my
of
God.
today
Okay.
was so in the distance you can see a guy throwing a frisbee in the
Oh,
person
yeah.
for
That dog flying to camera,
and
that's
so
amazing.
they're filming it, so the person's in the distance and they've slowed it down. The person throws the frisbee, and as the frisbee gets closer and closer, the dog leaps for it, misses,
yes.
and then you see just a
The
split
look.
second
The
of
dog
terror
just
on the dog's face. Like you can see the dog thinking, "Fuck, this is going to happen."
That's hilarious because you see terror, and I look at the dog, and I just look at the dog being totally okay with what it was heading towards.
No,
I think it's a bit like Kermit the
It's
Frog when
almost as if dogs don't express their emotions in the same way humans do, and we constantly misinterpret what they think because we judge them as if they're humans, not dogs.
you read.
Well, that's exactly what I did, and I found it really enjoyable.
Like Will just laughed so hard
Yeah.
then at his own joke.
Yeah.
He lost his balance.
We always knew this was how he was going to go down.
How did your friend die? Laughing at his own joke, which I only thought was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Will tickled himself again and shattered his hips.
I've fallen and I can't get up. It was my own thought that did me in the end. That's how I want to go.
We'll
He
put that on
died
the
doing what he
tombstone.
loved, amusing only himself.
Oh, so you want to die masturbating too?
That's my version of masturbating. Laughing at my own jokes is my masturbating. I'm like, you get these for free, Will. Other people have to pay for them.
And soon that won't be enough. Soon you'll just be going to like a brothel to get prostitutes to laugh at their own jokes to themselves just so you can get off.
Oh yeah! Wow, this took a turn.
Or just old professional comedians.
Tell each other jokes.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, no, but it's old comedians who can't get gigs anymore, and that they're ashamed that they're doing this for
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
But I've got
You
them
meet them in a
around-
car park. They get in the front seat and you just look around and you're like,
Yeah,
tell yourself a joke,
Yeah.
make yourself
Yeah.
laugh. What?
Alright.
Just make yourself laugh. Go on,
Just
do it.
make
do
yourself
it.
laugh. Just do
yeah.
it.
And then you
Do your
ping.
bit and make yourself laugh.
Hey,
Yeah,
see, long time since this guy.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Junior
Junior.
He's on the
Welcome back,
podcast.
Junior.
Hasn't been on since probably like...
This has been quite a long time.
Yeah.
What-
Have you got anything to say? No.
Nothing.
Too shy.
No, that's all right.
What I love about Junior being here for a start is that
Your dog's about to kill him.
Junior first came out and just pissed on my lawn. So thank you.
Yeah.
Good to have you here, Junior.
Well, that's what I did as well.
But secondly, the thing I was going to say was that this to me feels like when we have Justin in, and particularly because the two of you are being kind enough to stand because my back is still terrible and I can't sit down.
Yeah.
It feels like an Ocean's 11 style reunion that we're doing today. There's something about we've got back together. Maybe it's having
You mean Rat Pack reunion? Like we're doing one of those tours
Right.
that the Rat Pack would do at the end where they'll just get fucking pissed and be really racist.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm thinking of.
And we
Yeah.
would sing half a song.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like classic we'd wheel out Junior.
Yeah, yeah.
If we were trying to like milk some
Every
money out of
bit
this.
of nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like, and Junior's here, guys. Remember Junior from series 2?
Yeah.
It's Junior.
Oh man, an orange and gold set. That's what I want.
Oh, what if we did that?
Yeah.
What if we did like like
Some
one
weird
of those
magic act in the middle of it.
Well, no, what if we did like the TOFOP like variety
Variety
show,
show, yeah.
and we took it out on the road and it was like all
I
the-
would love to do
right?
that.
And we do it as like that kind of Simpsons old school talent show or like
Oh, I'd love to see
like,
you
Yeah.
trying to dance the opening number as you come out. We'll do the arthritis kind of
right.
dance.
Yeah.
Will Anderson in the bed, the
Yeah.
osteoarthritis
Yeah.
dances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all these other old people with
Just
osteoarthritis
Yeah.
shuffling in unison.
Yeah.
And it's all like bits from the show made into acts.
Yeah.
And we do it as like this massive sort
So,
of like
all right, the-
TOFOP experience. We bring
Yeah.
out Junior, we
Yeah.
bring out the dogs.
I can totally
like
see-
anything that's been involved with it. It's just like, and guess who's here?
The opening number I can totally see is
This
Will.
is a terrible idea.
This
It's
is
great.
We're
It's a
definitely gonna
Western
do
setting.
this.
It's
Yeah.
Will just like
How much do you need?
It's Will just like a cowboy. It's like a Western setting, like honoring your love of Westworld.
Right.
So you're just
Oh,
like a cowboy.
yeah.
And you come out and you start singing this song about like having to do the arthritis shuffle.
Yeah.
And then all the kind of other cowboys they come out in their arthritis dances. You're all dancing and everyone, the audience is loving it. And then I come sliding in as a rapper and I do like a rap breakdown in the middle.
yes.
So
Yes.
you're singing a country and Western, but I'm just doing yeah over the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's how we open the show.
Yes.
Amazing.
That is, I love everything about this.
There is-
Yeah, TOFOP is here to save.
Yeah.
Will can't walk, and I got something in my head. I don't forget it. I'm
Can
not gonna do
2/3
that.
of the
Don't
way through the
freestyle.
show,
Don't freestyle.
no, stick to the script.
We'll write
But-
something. Don't freestyle.
But 2/3 of the way through the show, can I come out dressed as David Bowie and cover Golden Years? Because it'll be the perfect song that lots of people will know, but it has an incredibly high falsetto that I will not be able to hit, and I'll do it seriously.
Yeah.
I could. Can you? Can you come out as Dave Dobbin and do Golden?
I can come out as Dave Dobbin.
Ba, 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 ba.
I would like.
Maybe I burst into that.
I mean, I think individual people doing their own acts should be part of the show.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does feel like that sort of thing of like you want to see that person
feel
from the
like-
show who comes out
Hang on,
and is
hasn't
like,
this? I
Hang
feel
on.
like this has been done on Netflix. Didn't a bunch of comedians? It was like
Bill Murray.
no, he
that
did
he
his
did a
one,
Christmas
but
special, didn't he?
there was another one that they did, and it was like Sarah Silverman did a sketch where she and a guy sang a song. And it was
I
a
don't
kind
know.
of similar idea as like a variety show, but ours is going to be live. God, if only we had a venue at which to put on such a big show, Will.
Oh yeah, but
let's not promise the Opera House because there's no way we can pull this together before that. But we could do it at some stage.
I've changed my mind. I'll do a bit of Golden Years, and then you strip me down, and I'm Dave Dobbin, and then I do Slice of
Slice of
Heaven,
Heaven.
and then you strip me down one more time, and I'm Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics, and then Em Rusciano comes out as Annie Lennox, and we build out Sweet Dreams.
Yeah. Oh, Sweet Dreams. Did you reference that on purpose?
Just because I thought it'd be a good song to finish on.
But do you know about my Annie Lennox dream?
This is
No,
this
I
is the
don't.
thing about the variety show, Charlie.
Holy
This is my whole
shit.
point.
Justin,
This
you
is-
just...
it's all about
Wow.
our world.
Right.
It's for
All right.
people.
I don't want to freak you out. I've gone a bit of a
okay.
tear here, right? But
Let's-
this is what's...
here
I'll
we
fill
go.
you in. We did a whole episode about this dream I had about Annie Lennox. And Will, I dreamt that I was at this kind of like variety performance in honor of Will or something. So all these people were coming. You know how they do it for Michael Jackson? All
Yeah.
these artists come out. So it was
Yeah.
for Will. But the opening act was Annie Lennox.
Really?
Annie Lennox came out. But she did this kind of angry sort of like she was singing, but it was all half-spoken word. And it was this anti kind of
Henry Rollins
political rant. Yeah, totally.
political rant.
And people started booing, and then there's this fucking riot and stuff. And I have to find Will backstage, and Will's a bit freaked out, and like all management around trying to sort of sort shit out. And I go in to say, "Hey man, you okay?" And Will's like, "How am I meant to go on? Like, there's a fucking riot in the theater, and this is meant to be my benefit." Yeah. Anyway, so we had this big.
All I'm worried about is how do I follow this?
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, which is fair enough. That's what I'd be worried about.
Even in his dream.
Yeah, no, you understand me, Charlie.
Yeah. So this is so we did
No thought that I wouldn't go on. Just how will I handle it?
There's an entire TOFOP.
We're gonna have to have a break.
If you want to know more, there's an entire TOFOP about this where we get into it. But in that same episode, we discussed this idea of what if Will and I are being contacted by other people? What if like this whole TOFOP, the reason why we do this, why we don't understand why we keep doing this thing, is that we are in some kind of simulation, some kind of matrix, and they're trying to keep us placated by going, well, they seem to engage with each other. So just say we were warlords in a different universe. We've been kept here and put in this prison.
Yeah.
And they've created this reality for us where we get together and record this fake radio show.
Yeah.
Why do we do it?
It's a life trap.
Over to you.
Right. Am I the warlord?
Explain that.
Well, no.
You just brought up Annie Lennox.
Well, you
Right,
brought up-
you're
yeah.
part of the
So
program.
well,
We're trying to
I'm in touch
communicate
with the collective consciousness here.
So are you trying to contact us from the outside to, hey, guys, wake up?
Yeah,
Or
is
are you
that
part
is
of-
this
are
like
you-
a glitch in?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
a glitch in the matrix?
you-
No,
Yeah, you're an
I've
agent?
come in. I've come in to
You're
get
jacked
you.
in.
Yeah, I'm jacked all the way through.
Or have you?
All right. My dad wrote a hardcore porno too. I know.
Or have
I'm more
you?
jacked than Justin.
Have you been sent?
Yeah.
By the people who control us, are you like our
Nah.
steadying
Yeah.
influence?
I don't know if
That's
I
what
trust
it-
you.
I don't
Prove
know
your
if I trust
loyalty.
you either.
They said this was going to
suddenly
happen.
I mean, the fact that you mentioned Annie Lennox like 3 weeks ago.
and we talked about this only a couple of weeks ago, right? And then suddenly Justin's
Oh,
here.
just, hey,
this
Annie
guy
Lennox.
that
Yeah.
we both.
You know who you are? You're Sharon Stone in Total Recall.
yeah.
When he runs
Yeah.
into her
Hang
after
on.
he's left the first time. And she's like, hey, it's cool, man. And he's like, no, I
Uncool,
don't
man.
know.
That's uncool.
Mate, I'm Leonardo
Uncool,
DiCaprio
man.
in Inception. That's
I
what's
knew
going
it.
on.
You're trying to get the secrets. What do you need to know?
Yeah, what do
from
you
this?
need to know about
Yeah.
us?
Well,
Oh, imagine if that is the thing. That's why we're having all these fucking stupid conversations, because we have the key to unlock something. And
our
instead of
subconscious.
them kind of trapping us here to stop us doing something, they're actually running kind of a program where they just need us to keep kind of talking until we eventually
uncover-
lock
yes.
that thing.
Yes.
Ah.
So Justin's down here to coerce that.
no, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you
That's
don't
what-
believe
So
me.
That's
you're a
what
rebel. So you're a
someone-
rebel fighter. You're in the liberation front, trying to get us back.
Right.
Well, that's what someone who was trying to trick us would say as well, though, right?
Well, they said you were going to say that.
Did they? Who said?
Well-
Who's they? Who's this they you're talking about?
Your wife.
Hang on, I don't have a wife.
Oh, well, she said you were going to say that too.
Oh my God, who did?
Annie Lennox.
Oh, what?
You're married to Annie Lennox.
Sweet dream. I wake up.
Yeah. Charlie's like, where'd he go?
I think we have to do that variety show. Clearly,
Oh.
like there's the first half hour of the variety show.
right.
We interrupt your solo performance to accuse you of being a plant, and we argue on stage for 17 minutes. The audience
Yeah.
just sits there not knowing if they should applaud or,
Yeah.
or
Well,
call the police.
They
While we're talking about dreams, that even like Amy didn't want to hear this dream, so you guys now have to. So I had one the
Thanks,
other night.
Amy.
Well, this is like a podcast related dream. I had a podcast related dream. It's a version of a theme that I have in my dreams a lot, which is the idea of you're meant to be prepared for something, but you're not prepared for it. Whether it be a high school test or a show that's coming up or whatever, it's the day of it and you realize you haven't done.
It's an
any of the
anxiety
work.
dream.
It's an anxiety dream, right? So I had one the other night that was a twist on that. So it was an anxiety dream, but then in the dream, it didn't end with the anxiety. It offered me a solution, and then the solution ended up being like a happy solution. So I'm going to explain to you what happened and then what happened, and you
Right.
can tell me what you think that means.
Okay.
Because all I would
Was
say
that the
is
dream?
normally your anxiety dream is you don't ever get it done, right?
Yeah, and then you're relieved
right?
when you wake
Okay.
up.
When you wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to me was I had all that, but then instead of waking up all anxious,
Yeah, you got an extra
I
15
then
minutes.
Got the next bit where the problem was solved,
Ah.
and here's how it was solved.
Okay.
So I'm going to
All right.
explain that to you.
Yeah.
So the anxiety dream is I'm doing a live version, my first ever live version of my Willosophy podcast, and I've had this big guest book because it's the first time I'm ever going to do it. And then on the day it's sold out at the Opera House, and my guest doesn't turn up. So that's the anxiety dream part of it that I'm having. So I go out on stage with no guest who's turned up. And there in the front row, so this is now the bit where it gets solved, are Peter Dinklage and Jimmy Smits.
Oh, right.
And Jimmy Smits decides. I like start explaining
Yeah.
that my guest hasn't turned up, and Jimmy Smith stands up and goes, "I'll be your guest."
Oh, yeah.
Bit up himself, Jimmy Smits.
No. But that's perfect because you know what Jimmy Smits is really good at? Turning up in shows that need a boost.
Right?
He just does an NYPD Blue.
Yeah. In fact, my dreams got a mid-season reboot. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what happened. And,
You want us to interpret that?
Well, yeah. What do you think that means? Why didn't I choose Dinklage? Why didn't my subconscious think that Dinklage
Well, hang
would
on.
be a more
But you said
interesting-
Fuentes. Was he Fuentes?
Victor Cifuentes.
Cifuentes.
Yeah.
Did he? You said he put his hand up before he got a chance to go out to Dinklage, right?
Yeah. But my point is that, like, in this dream,
Yeah, but did you remember in your dream having the opportunity to ask Dinklage? Then Smits stood up.
No. Smits offered himself, but why did Smits offer himself and not Dinklage?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Does my subconscious think that Smits
Well,
is
can
the
I
sort of
ask-
person who would?
Yes, that was going to be my next question.
Right.
Is like, so you're the kind of person who loves the work of Peter Dinklage, and
Yep.
you're okay with Jimmy. What's your opinion of Jimmy Smits?
I-
I know how you feel about Dinklage. How do you feel about Smits?
You know what? I actually am, now that I've, like, and maybe it's just because I had a pleasant dream about him and I have nice thoughts because he saved my gig. But I'm going to say I like Jimmy Smits. I like when he turns up in something.
yeah.
Like, he was good.
Okay.
He was good in The West Wing. He
think-
was good in Sons of Anarchy. Like, when he turns up in something, I'm like, yeah, this is better. now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's your third best player on grand
I
final
got
day.
it.
No.
I know what it is.
All right.
My reading of your dream.
Is I wish Jimmy Smits was in Game of Thrones.
Yes. This is what this season needs.
Yes.
A bit of Smits.
I think you're going into a situation in which, like, okay, take this path. This is, everything I want. This is the pinnacle. Because I know you love Peter Dinklage. You think he's great. You think he's really charismatic. He's really funny. So I think you look at him and you go, okay, I've got a path to go down. This is like, if I had my choice of any, it would be the big star whose work I love. But then Jimmy Smits pops up and you're like, oh, fuck, like mediocre Jimmy Smits. But then what Jimmy Smits
I
does,
think is mediocre, Jimmy Smits.
well, you don't think he's mediocre?
I think he's better. Than
Okay,
that.
all right. Well, better than
Okay.
but he's not Dinklage,
He's
right?
not Dinklage.
He's
Okay.
less than Dinklage.
Sure.
So what I think, less than Dinklage has popped up, and you're like, not Dinklage, but less than Dinklage is there,
Yeah.
and he's saying he wants to do it, and then you're like, actually, this is not so bad. Like, I know that this is what I want it to be, but if less than Dinklage puts its hand up, then I can accept less than Dinklage, and you know what? I think it'll be good. And then you elaborating on it now, saying, actually, I think he's really good. And there's lots of good stuff that he's done, and he makes everything better, and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's what your dream was about, was you set your goals up here, you aim for this, but what you're reconciling is, you know what? I make plans all the time that don't go exactly as I want them to. It's okay to accept what that next level down is, because I'm going to find something in that I actually really like.
I also would now go and see a band called Less Than Dinklage. After hearing you say it 6 times, I was really like, I like halfway through that convinced myself there was a band called Less Than Dinklage.
I'd see that band and read that book, A Bit of Smits.
Yeah, a bit of Smits.
I
No,
would
I like them
definitely
both.
read
I'd be happy if Jimmy Smits turned
Yeah.
up in the final series of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
My interpretation of that dream is
Yeah.
that deep down you know that if you just worked a bit harder, you could be as good as Jimmy Smits.
I'd like to be as handsome as Jimmy Smits.
He's a
Is he
handsome
still
dude.
handsome?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
still.
He's
He
not
looks good.
fat?
No,
Yeah.
No.
he looks normal.
Really? He
Don't
hasn't
you
got
reckon?
that. He hasn't got that Val Kilmer,
No.
Steven
He
Seagal,
definitely doesn't have
He was
that.
he was
No.
in. Did you not see the last Star Wars
John
movie?
Travolta. Yeah, that was like fucking 10 years ago.
What? No, he's in the last one.
Yeah, they're making
How
new
does that work?
Charlie, they're making
Yeah.
new Star Wars
But hang on,
movies.
isn't
Yeah.
there like a
They're making
20-year
one
jump
every year.
between...
No, the last Star Wars movie, Rogue
Force
One.
Awakens.
Oh, you didn't see Rogue One, did you?
Oh, no, I did. Is he in that?
He's in Rogue One.
Oh, it's so forgettable.
Well, that you know what that says?
forgettable.
That says he's looking good because you didn't think, oh god, he looks fat.
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
good point.
I feel like Jimmy Smits the way I think you do. I like Jimmy Smits. L.A. Law.
Yeah.
He was like the
Mate.
sexiest fucking lawyer in
NYPD
L.A. Law.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yep, he was
Mate,
great in
he's-
Dexter.
He's Muse.
I
He's very good. He's like
Very good.
consistently
And he
good.
did a movie in Australia.
Yeah,
and he
Smitsy.
had sex with bloody Naomi Watts in that movie. She
Oh,
was a little
yeah.
ingenue student of his.
Right.
So, tip of the hat.
Wag of
Right.
the finger.
That was a bit of a sexy movie. I remember that.
Yeah, she had the
Yeah.
red undies on.
Yeah,
I remember like
that.
Thursday
And
night,
that's
Channel
not the-
7,
and it's not
9:30.
the thing.
It's
And
burned into my brain.
and the other thing is,
Mum's
it's
not
not.
home. You little beauty.
But it's one of those things you're not really meant to feel sexy about because it's a woman being like, in a compromising situation.
no,
isn't
she was
it?
she falsely
Oh,
accuses
it
him.
was
I
a
believe.
falsely accused.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
'Cause
okay.
That's always
Spoilers.
how it goes down.
Yeah, no, sure. Spoilers. Sorry, spoilers.
Indecent Obsession, I think it was. No,
No,
the band.
that's the band.
Can you Google what the film's called?
Yeah, we do need to know.
Hey, well, you said it's
And
like
find-
an old school TOFOP. We need
And
to do a
also,
Wikipedia
we should
session.
find out what else Jimmy Smits has done.
Yeah.
If we
Well,
have
let's
time.
start with Jimmy Smits, and then we can work our way down to Indecent Love Affair, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
It's got one of those kind of like Mills and Boone type.
yeah.
Jimmy Smits, born July 9, 1955,
Year of Back to
Yeah.
the Future.
is an American actor. He played attorney Victor Cervantes
so
on the
sexy.
1980s legal drama LA Law.
Yeah.
NYPD detective Bobby Simone
Bobby
Hang on, so
Simone.
where was he
in the
born?
1990s police drama NYPD Blue.
Where was he born?
Where's
he from, in America?
We'll get to there. Okay, just all right.
All right.
I was running through some of his catalog. He played Matt Santos on the 1999 to 2006 serial political drama The West Wing.
Yeah.
He appeared as Bail Organa in the Star Wars prequel trilogy and Rogue One,
Yeah.
and ADA Miguel Prado in Dexter. And from 2012 to 2014, he joined the main cast of Sons of Anarchy.
Holy
As
shit.
Nero. Yeah, he's in everything, and he's really good. All right, so Smits was born in Brooklyn, New York. Jimmy is the name on his birth certificate. Oh, so he's Jimmy Smits of
Amazing.
birth.
Jimmy Smits of birth. No,
Well,
birth.
I love that after this it says Jimmy is the name on his birth certificate. That would be enough. That's all you need to say. But what it says is rather than Jim or James.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
Or Gary.
Don't even.
Or
I mean,
Frank.
James, I would accept, but
Yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
don't need to say that.
Smith's father, Cornelius Lendert Smits,
Oh, Cornelius Smits.
was
That guy will growl you out.
Right, I was
from-
thinking he sounded like he was from Planet of the Apes, like you're like the leader, isn't he?
Cornelius.
Cornelius, or
Yeah.
was of Dutch descent. Smith's mother, Emelina, was Puerto Rican, born in Penuelas. I don't know. He has two sisters, Yvonne and Diana. Growing up in a working class neighborhood and spent time in Puerto Rico during his childhood. Smits identifies as Puerto Rican and was raised in a strict devout Roman Catholic family. He frequently visits Puerto Rico in
I
2001.
thought you were going to say brothels there. for some reason.
Wow.
He frequently visits brothels.
in Puerto Rico.
In 2001, he was arrested
In a brothel.
for visiting a brothel for his participation in protests against U.S. Navy bombing practices on the Puerto Rican
What's
offshore.
not to love about this
island.
fucking guy?
Yeah, right?
Bail Organa.
Here we go. He's got a bachelor's degree
Oh
from Brooklyn College and an MFA from Cornell University.
an MFA,
a
Master
motherfucking
Award.
associate's award. Yeah, motherfucking award.
Massive fat anus.
So,
Wow.
an early role played by Smits was of Eddie Rivera in the 2-hour series premiere of Miami Vice in 1984.
Oh mate, what an intro.
In the episode, he portrayed Sonny Crockett's original partner, who was killed in a sting gone wrong.
Holy shit! I
There you
remember
go.
that.
That's your first look at that.
Oh
All right.
man, that's a splash.
So LA Law after that. Then he played a repairman on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
The boot closing. Sorry.
One of Smith's most acclaimed roles was that of Detective Bobby Simone on NYPD Blue.
Hey, I'm from New York.
Yeah. Do you remember his first episode? Did you ever see it?
There was a lot of sex.
No,
wasn't there?
he came in and Sipowicz wasn't certain about him because
That's
remember,
right.
and he
Because Caruso was there before, and I forgot.
and they were best friends, and Sipowicz wasn't sure about him because he comes in all
Yeah.
well dressed and everything.
He's got
and
like
then the
sleeves
first,
on his shirt and,
and
stuff.
then- yeah, and-
Sipowicz doesn't trust him one bit.
and then the first
Takes his
time.
sunglasses on and off perfectly normally.
Yeah, doesn't say a weird line at the end.
No, and then the first job they go on together, they're talking to some young punk who gives him a bit of lip, and Bobby Simone grabs him by the shirt, pushes him up against the fence, and then gets his badge and presses it
Ah,
into
yeah, I
his
remember
forehead and
that.
says, "If you want to report me, there it is." And then you can see the look on Sipowicz going, "This guy's great." Ah.
I love him. He misuses his police powers as well.
Yeah.
Police brutality.
This is going to be fine.
I'm
I
going to
love
miss
this
Robinson.
guy. Yeah. All right. So Bobby Simone, a lot of sex.
What a bare bum.
A lot of bare bum going on there. Received several
bum
Emmy
Smits.
nominations. Won the Alma Award twice. In 1999, Smits.
I knew you were going to do that. I would have been really disappointed if you did not throw
Well,
in the
don't
fun.
say that like it's a bad thing.
I loved it. No, as soon as you said Alma, I thought, if he doesn't say, then you went Alma Fun. I was like, bingo.
The fuddies, they call them.
The fuddies.
In 1999, Smits received the Hola Award for excellence from the Hispanic Organization of Latin Actors. Hola. Smits was to have hosted the 2001 Latin Grammy Awards, broadcast on September 11, 2001, but it was called off because of the terrorist attacks.
Oh.
So he was meant to fucking host the 2001 Latin Grammy Awards, and yet he's never made a big deal about the fact that he was also someone who lost something on that day. I mean,
That would have looked good on the resume.
too soon, Charlie. Is that what you're saying?
No, keep
I mean,
going.
he lost a hosting role. Like, I mean, there were other victims. I'm not saying he lost as much. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just hang in there. Back yourself.
Smits appeared as Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan in Star Wars Episode 2.
Who cares?
And Star Wars Episode
Sorry,
3.
Steel
Who
Saunders.
cares? He became... Oh, he was Princess Leia's adoptive father.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, who cares?
Princess Leia.
Smits played the role of Congressman Matt Santos of Houston, Texas in the final 2 seasons of The West Wing, joining
he's playing Obama.
fellow LA Law alumnus John Spencer. His character,
And his band,
spoilers.
Blues Explosion.
Yeah, and his blues explosion. Spoilers. His character eventually ran for and won the US presidency.
Yeah.
Wow.
Predicting the rise of Obama.
Yes, exactly. In Dexter season 3, Smits played the role of Miguel Prado.
I'd vote for Jimmy Smits.
I would definitely vote for
totally
Jimmy
in that
Smits.
show you would vote for Jimmy Smits.
I'll
There's
vote for
no doubt
him.
about it. Yeah,
I'll vote
yeah.
for Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, right now.
I'll vote
Absolutely.
for Fuentes.
He was also in a TV show called Kane.
Yes, I remember.
Sons of Anarchy. And Smits stars in The Get Down, a musical television drama series debuted
He's
on
fucking
Netflix.
never stopped working.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean,
there you
he's
go.
never really had a down point in his career, has he?
You know what he is?
transitioned from
He's an old school TV star.
yeah,
and I
but
mean
he's-
that
but
as a
he's-
real
but he's
like he's
pops
just
up in
bounced.
movies from time to time.
Yeah.
Get to the
Mate,
Naomi Watts film.
Well, you know what he still does? He still does stage performances and stuff
Oh
as
my
well.
God.
Yeah.
He's working
I wish
on
I was
Broadway.
Smits.
The last thing he did was a Steppenwolf Theatre Company production called The Motherfucker with the Hat.
I would love to have seen Jimmy Smits say motherfucker with a hat.
I'd love to see Jimmy Smits' fucking mother with that.
Really?
No.
All right. Here's his, here's his
Can of mother.
filmography, working backwards, and we'll find the one. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Mother and Child, Backyard, Jane Austen Book Club, Star Wars Episode 3, Star Wars Episode 2,
There's movies and TV and everything.
Right.
Bless the Child, Price of Glory, The $1 Million Hotel, Adventures in Wild California, Lesser Profits, Murder in Mind, The Last Word,
Oh, God.
My
what
Family,
decade are we up to? Just get down to the late
The
90s.
Cisco Kid, and then
Oh,
the
hang on.
movie, I believe, which was the movie we are talking
Is
about.
the sexy title?
Gross.
Misconduct.
Misconduct.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. That's right. Let's get to the plot.
Okay, so let's find out. Gross Misconduct is a 1993 thriller
93 definitely was
directed
watching
by,
Wow.
this. Australian?
yes. Well, no, I don't know if he is
Oh.
Australian, but he shares the same name as an Australian director.
PJ Paul
Oh,
Hogan?
yeah, he is actually. Yeah, no, he's Australian.
Is it a Paul Hogan? No.
Yahoo Serious.
No,
Oh, Miller.
yeah, George T. Miller.
Yeah, not
Not-
Dr. George.
the other
George
George-
wouldn't. No disrespect
Yeah.
to Miss Smith, but George Miller's not making
The
gross
other.
misconduct.
The guy who calls himself as the other. Oh, and I'm George T. Miller.
Yeah.
George T.
Who I
Miller.
believe directed Man from Snowy River.
Yeah, so,
Right.
yeah, he's done some stuff. It stars Jimmy Smits and Naomi Watts.
I mean, imagine, like that's the thing. Like, if there wasn't George Miller, that George Miller would be the most famous George Miller director
Right,
in
totally.
Australia. It's like having a band called like Metallica 2.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like everyone loves Metallica. We're Metallica 2. Like,
Metallica T.
yeah.
Or Metallica.
Metallica.
Metallica. They just really love Nutella.
Yeah.
And heavy metal.
Yeah, you can't understand what they're
We're-
singing
we're
because there's mouths
Metallica.
full of
Yeah,
Nutella.
That's actually a good bit for the variety show.
Oh,
We get
yeah.
people to do Metallica. And
Yeah.
they're doing Metallica numbers, but they got their mouth full of Nutella.
It's just
so you
flying
can't-
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At an all-girls academy in Australia, a married philosophy professor, Justin Thorne,
Oh, that's a fucking like romance novel protagonist,
Yeah.
Justin Thorne.
Attracts
He's
a
gonna prick you.
Oh, my lord.
Oh my god.
God, that sounds really painful.
Yeah, my dad wrote a Thorno. Attracts a fervent admirer in one of his students, Jennifer Carter, daughter of the school's headmaster. Headmaster. That's a funny word they've made up. Jennifer is driven by a passion for the professor, practically throwing herself at him.
The film should have been called Passion for the Professor.
Should have been Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Thorne resists repeatedly, but finally yields to temptation. Jennifer, feeling rejected, later accuses the professor of a sexual assault.
Sexual.
Sexual.
Is
Yeah,
that successive sexual assault? Sexual?
It's been redubbed by Phil Collins.
There's a
Sexual
rape
assault.
that's been on my mind
boy.
all the time. Sexual.
I mean, I would feel more outraged if I had made a 9/11 joke earlier. So, a journal she has been keeping, fantasizing about a lover, makes it appear she and the professor have been carrying on a long affair, placing Thorne's reputation and future in grave danger.
That sounds pretty good.
I can't remember how it ends.
I'll see it when they give it 3D conversion. Then I'll go.
Yeah.
I just remember there was a scene where she strips down to her undies by a fireplace.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think he's all like, no, I can't.
That sounds like a great scene.
Yeah.
So, before we finish up, we should finish up, but before we finish up, the Joker, we didn't actually even talk about that. We brought it
yeah.
up and then we moved on. Did you see that they're making Joker?
No, he fucking cares.
Origin movie.
So
Supposedly.
what do you know? What do you know?
Todd Phillips, the director of the first Hangover,
Yeah.
wants to do it, and apparently, like,
Scorsese's going to
if he,
produce it.
I mean, but it's very vague. It's like Scorsese
Yeah.
will mentor him based on the script. So
Yeah.
it sounds like it's just Todd Phillips wants to make a Joker film, but don't do it. Don't take all these great villains and then explore them. They're better as
No,
enigmas.
yeah, it makes no sense to explore the Joker because the great thing about him is he's the perfect antithesis to Batman, who is so meticulous and we
Yeah.
know his origin back to front, and he plans and he's always looking one step ahead, and then this opposing force comes in and throws that for a loop morally and physically.
Or just like if you want to explore it, don't explore like origin story and all the boring shit. Just like have a whole movie of
Yeah.
the Joker getting away with stuff.
Right.
Like like that thing of like, because inevitably in a Batman movie, you eventually kind of have to see the Joker at least half fail
Yeah.
in his plans, right? Because it's Batman's fucking moment to shine, right? See a few where you put some shit on the line for the other movies, because when Batman's not around, the Joker can just win a bit, right?
Yeah.
Just let the Joker be better than everybody else.
Just have the Joker taking down mafioso people.
Right. Yeah,
So
like the
you're
first half of
always-
The Dark Knight.
So
right?
you're always a little
Yeah.
bit confused
But for the
because
whole
you shouldn't
movie.
be on his side.
So
'Cause
you're
you are
saying
on
you
his
want to
side for
see
the
it.
first
This is
half
what
of
you
that,
want to
right?
see.
Yeah.
You do want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, if they did it
But
like
with
that.
Jared Leto.
With Jared Leto. Oh.
I was hoping who gets... Is Cesar Romero still alive?
Jack Nicholson. He's retired.
Nicholson will do it. He's still furious he didn't get the Dark
I
Knight.
don't care. I don't care.
Nah.
I just think it's.
I don't want to see it.
I don't
But
know.
that's how I'd do it.
I'm a bit over it. Like, to be honest, like all these comic book films, I will see them, but I'm getting that fatigue now because it's just they're too formulaic. We talked a while back about wouldn't it be great if every film was just like self-contained, different director came in and just did their take. So like a comic book, different writer, different artist comes in and does.
Well, that was
their
the
take.
rumor going around with Matt Reeves' Batman, that it was going to be a completely separate,
Yeah, but then he
not
had to do a
meeting
big
up, and he's had to
retraction.
do a retraction. But
But
for a
that
moment, I
sounded
got really
interest- yeah,
excited.
exactly.
Also, you know what they should do is that they should, instead of making a $240 million movie, make a $90 million movie, set it in Arkham Asylum, get someone who knows how
Right.
to work with
They don't
practical
all have to,
effects.
but costs $350
That
million.
that movie will make $700 million.
Right.
You know, actually,
You know,
Yeah.
it would be amazing.
you know what I saw last week? I went and saw 3 films in a burst. Which I hardly
Oh,
ever get
okay.
the
What'd you
time to
see?
do.
I saw a couple
So
last
Baby
week.
Driver, Atomic Blonde, and War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. I've seen all 3.
Baby Driver didn't like.
You didn't
Atomic
like it?
Blonde, no.
Oh, why didn't you like it?
I didn't like. I actually read the script a couple of years ago because it was
Okay,
floating
well,
around.
that's why you didn't like it.
No, because I remember reading the script and going like, I don't
Why
think
is
I'm
the
going to
script
like
better
this.
than the movie?
No, I didn't. I didn't think the script was that great either. I just
Right.
found the whole thing just unengaging. I didn't,
Right.
And I've found that I love Edgar Wright as a director, but I have not loved one of his films since Shaun of the Dead. I've liked moments of things.
Do you think he needs that sort of Simon Pegg style?
Something. I
like,
just don't think
influence?
You don't like Hot Fuzz?
Well, no, but it's funny because I hear people talk about it, and I'm like, oh, that's a good bit. Oh, yeah, that is a good bit. But I have seen it a couple of times, and both times been like, I don't know. And Baby Driver, I just did not. You know what it was? I didn't like the lead characters.
Oh,
The guy and the girl didn't buy their relationship, wasn't into it.
Is
Spoilers.
the baby
It's a love story.
Is the
Yeah.
Baby Driver the same kid from Baby Boss?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's the
okay,
same baby.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's Atomic Blonde, which I think they missold. Like, I was thinking it's going to be female John Wick. I'm like, I'm totally up to see Charlize Theron beat this shit out of dudes.
You're thinking about Joan Wick. That's
Joan
the new
Wick.
movie
Yeah.
coming out.
But it wasn't like that. It's like this espionage thriller. And
Yeah.
it's literally like an hour goes past where there's any fucking like.
Yeah, but
fighting.
also like everything's telegraphed.
Yes.
So when you find out who the bad guy is, you go, yeah, it's that guy that pretty much turned up and said, I'm the bad
I'm
guy.
the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But War for the Planet of the
Oh,
Apes.
by the way, also Atomic Blonde made a faux pas in using that Bowie song at the start
yeah.
because it's already been used brilliantly in Inglourious Bastards. So as soon as you hear that bit of music in a movie, you go, "Oh, how good was Inglourious Bastards?
Totally.
Fuck, I wish I was watching Inglourious Bastards."
Yeah.
But War for the Planet of the Apes is fucking awesome. It was
It's
so
great,
good.
isn't it?
And it made me realize I've completely underrated that trilogy in the
So have
era
I.
of superhero films.
No, they're
They've done
good. I mean,
something.
I've liked those movies.
They've
Yeah,
they've
so have
all
I.
gotten better.
I've
Like,
always,
the first one I thought
I've
was-
always loved the Planet of the Apes mythology. The whole thing to me is always
they nail
had
it.
appeal.
But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the last one,
No, I've been in the movies in 2.5 months because I
right,
can't sit
down,
down.
of course. But that Caesar,
That's why I keep singing Dunkirk for you.
that
Yeah, I
character
appreciate it.
is fucking computer generated, and the way they make you
Yeah.
forget. I mean, I remember I watched Dawn just before I saw the film, just to remind me, and this is like almost 10 years ago, and the effects are amazing.
Yeah.
Now the effects are so amazing to make you feel more for a fucking animated character than you feel for the humans that are in the film.
Oh, and also it's stunning when you suddenly get to the end. You go, "That was 75% the animated monkeys."
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
But you also, but the way
apes,
what they did
gorillas,
with that character,
Not just monkeys, but
I mean, we're not. The thing I hate about these fucking superhero films is this constant setup for other films, bigger universe, all this kind of
yeah,
setup.
well, that's why I really enjoyed Logan.
Yes, Logan's awesome. More of that.
Yeah.
Let's get more of that.
yeah. Although in the next one, let's get Logan to fight the apes from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
missing the point?
That'll happen in Deadpool, guaranteed. They own the same property. All right, should we finish up?
Yeah, we should. So we are doing some live shows at the Sydney Opera House. Justin Hamilton's going to be involved in one of those. We're going to have some other guests, but there's two of them. There is one that still has some tickets that are available for purchase. Come along
September
and see that.
16th, 9 p.m., I believe, at the Opera House.
The Sydney Opera
If
House.
there's any further proof that we're living in a simulation, that some alien force is trying to control us by placating us, they've put this thing in our mind and say, oh yeah, that stupid little thing you do is playing the Opera House.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason I'm appearing as a guest.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're our
You're an
constant.
agent.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got tickets for that. And we have a website, tofop.com, and where you can find all our podcasts. This one, FOFOP, which is like this, but Charlie's not in it. Sometimes Justin's in it and Charlie's not there. Sometimes it's other comedians. Look, there's not a lot of rules.
No.
We're a pretty...
If you like your TOFOP
Yeah.
with 100% less Charlie, you'll like FOFOP.
Look, we've got a whole range of options for you,
Yeah.
essentially is what we're
Yeah.
saying.
Lots of flavors.
If you're Charlie intolerant,
Yeah.
we've got a whole range of options.
Yeah.
Not as handy at the moment if you don't like me. But there are other
If you're
ones.
will tolerant.
Yeah, exactly. But there's Willosophy and there's our footy podcast, Two Guys, One Cup, an AFL podcast. So check that out as well. That'd be really cool.
An
And
AFL podcast with Game of Thrones spoilers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just
Oh,
hang
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
we
Just
will
be
try
careful.
not in the future to
Spoil stuff.
spoil Game of Thrones.
I sincerely apologize to anyone who was offended by that.
Me too.
I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.
I'm Justin Hamilton.